miracles. Mary and Martha are always falling at Jesus' feet, wiping his feet with their hair, kissing his feet lovingly. There's an awful lot of this kind of imagery throughout these documents. I don't know what you want to make of it all, but I don't want to give anything away from my present work, but particularly as Ron is sitting here, because anything I say he's likely to run off with, and the next thing I know he'll be marketing it someplace. So I got to be careful with him around with his wide absorptive abilities. But since I haven't published any of this material yet, so I won't give you what the origin I think this material is. Any case, when you get repetitive elements of that kind over and over again, I'm not sure you want to credit them historically. It has to do with a literary element, I think. But I'm one of the few people who says that, so you don't want to take me as the final word. It's just my own prejudiced view. But a prejudice based on repeatedly encountering these usages. And a great fear came on all those, line 11 of chapter 5 here. And many miracles and wonders were worked among the people by the hands of the apostles. The apostles are running around doing all these things everywhere. You know, this is not history. I know it's nice for faith, and it's very inspiring for those who are looking for spiritual reinforcement. But if you're interested in a picture of what's going on, I don't think that this is... it would be like me saying, and all the people around George Bush were doing many miracles and wonders in Texas at the time of his elevation to the presidency, and Karl Rove and his companions were doing many works and mighty miracles among the people. That would be one way of expressing it. Of course, we laugh to ourselves if I would say it about the Bush entourage or someone, or the Kerry entourage or whatever, but there's a similar thing. Or you say, no, it's not similar. These people had superpowers. Well, I don't think you'll find anyone in the universe who has superpowers. You say, well, that's why I'm a Christian, because I believe there are people in the universe with superpowers. Well, okay, that's your belief, but that is just a belief. And it's okay in a church, synagogue, mosque, but it won't hold up in the physics department of this university, which may or may not be the final arbiter. You'll have to decide that. But since we're in this university, we have to go according to their standards. And they were all together on the porch of Solomon. Okay, I think there's an historical notice. That they met on the temple pretty regularly. And the more believers were added to the Lord, myriads of both men and women. So that's the glue I told you about, line 14. Myriads of people. Each episode is punctuated. So if you want to look at these first 5 chapters, I think you'll find lines about 5 or 6 notices of that kind. And crowds came together from the cities around Jerusalem, bringing sick ones and people with evil spirits, and all were healed. Again, I don't think this is being written by an eyewitness. You say, well, no, it's supposed to. This is an eyewitness. Yeah, that's the issue here. And me and Mel Gibson will part company on this one, I guess. And the saint in Germany, the 19th century saint whose visions he claims to have based some of his cinematic portrayals upon. This is, to my mind, the problem that we're dealing with when we're trying to get an accurate picture of what's going on in the early development of these ideas. I don't know, have an answer. Because long after you and I have passed, this material will remain, and it will be all over again presented to a new generation of new minds who have just come into existence themselves and are becoming mature. So the whole issue starts over again. And the problem is that literature is an enduring thing, and that's what people don't really realize, how powerful literature is. So if you want to have influence over the masses, a group of people, or the world, write great literature, and then you will surely achieve your goals. because great literature remains. We are still talking about Jack Kerouac and people like that, even though I don't think it's very great, and they'll be talked about for 100, 200 more years, and you and I will just pass into dust. And these people are, to my mind, almost worthless anyway, people like him, but whatever he managed to produce on this piece of paper remains. That's the power of literature. I'll give you another example, Philip Roth. Every book he manages to produce, he's got one on the bestseller list now, becomes instantly read by myriads of people as if it's an accurate picture, and it's all totally inaccurate, stupid stuff. And yet, 100 years from now, they'll still be judging our generation on things of that kind. And so this is how we're judging this first century on material of this kind. I wish you could have been there and seen what really happened. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what really happened, but I don't think this is what happened. Crowds came together. If there's so many crowds coming together, then of course there'd be no problem in the popularity of this movement, and they wouldn't be having any trouble at all. I think they were a popular movement, but I don't think it's because of this presentation. Anyway, the high priest, who was from the Sadducees, because the author of this is read as Josephus, line 17, seized the apostles and put them in prison. I'm not sure the high priest had that power to do that. There's a Roman governor here at this time. And the angel of the Lord opened the prison gates. We've heard that when Peter escapes from prison. We'll hear it again. But this is another repetition of the Peter material that will occur later on. And the angel opens things. Again, if I told you that I was arrested by the Long Beach police for drunk driving, but an angel of the Lord came and opened the prison gates for me, you would look at me in a very odd way, and you would think I was ready for the loony bin. And you would really avoid me like the plague if I spoke to you like this now. And that's another point I'm trying to make, that we accept in the past behavior and characterizations that if someone made a claim in the present, we would be horrified. Again, it's literature, the power of what literature is. So, oh yes, and then you'll meet someone who takes material of these kinds of things, whatever religion they may be, Judaism, Christianity, Muslim, or Buddhist, seriously, and they'll say, oh yes, well, the early apostles were arrested and an angel freed them. And they'll just talk about that like it's normal. Like that really happened. It took me until I was about 40 to realize, to have the courage and the strength of mind to stand up and say, no, this is literature.